First, let me start this video off with Inuyasha is coming back. I'm gonna say it again. Inuyasha is coming back. I already made a short video about this, so I'll link it in the description below, but if you have not seen or even heard of this amazing anime, then you are severely missing out. This is one of the gateway anime that got me into the medium, actually. A timeless classic that every anime fan should watch, at least in my opinion. And sadly, due to the times and numerous popular shows that exist and all these anime that come out every single season, Inuyasha is desperately underrated at the moment. So I thought this would be a good time for you to binge this epic tale. Yes, today we'll be reviewing one of my favorite anime of all time, Inuyasha. Play that intro. Hey guys, I'm g.elyse and this is On the Rise, where we discuss anime and video game related topics. Welcome back to Underrated Fever, and it sure has been a while. A segment of the channel where I suggest and review underrated anime. Today, I am super excited to review Inuyasha. And if you're new here, we break down anime reviews by world, characters, story, and fights. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you for some reason haven't heard of this gem of an anime, then Inuyasha is a 1996 manga written and illustrated by Rumiko Takahashi. It received an anime on October 16, 2000 and ran for a total of 167 episodes. The manga would end in 2008 and a new anime would come out in 2009 to finish up the story. Along with the anime, there are 4 movies, 1 OVA, and several video games. So yeah, a lot of content for this one. Maybe I should do a watch order. I don't know, leave in the comments below if you want one. Either way, the story follows Kagome, a high school girl who is transferred to feudal Japan where she meets Inuyasha, a half-demon boy, and the two embark on a journey to find fragments of a powerful jewel in order to stop evil demons from ruining the country. Needless to say, the anime was at the top of everyone's list back then due to it airing on Adult Swim. The anime and manga were held up to be masterpieces and became Rumiko Takahashi's second best work right after Ranma 1/2. And if you don't know what Ranma 1/2 is, then I can do a review on that later, just let me know in the comments below again. So, what makes Inuyasha so great? Let's start with the world. The world of Inuyasha is a very historical one, taking place in both modern day and feudal Japan. Of course, most of the story takes place in the feudal side of Japan, where all the demons and spirits live. I would say that the world building of this anime is pretty great for the most part. The anime wastes no time introducing the audience to a wide variety of demons, each one with its own tale and legend behind it. It gives you this sense of a feudal fairy tale that most anime just don't give you. You get a sense of the chaos by the countless deaths and demonic acts that take place in each episode. To be honest, the anime is pretty messed up when it comes to killing off innocent villagers. Like, they die every episode, it's crazy. But that's just how the times were back then. Lords fighting over the land and endless battles. The world of Inuyasha really is a chaotic hellhole. If you're not a demon or human with special powers, you're basically screwed. This lays the groundwork for a grand story because there is an endless amount of tales and places to get attached to. In other words, the world building leaves room for the story to explore rather than just keep it grounded to one area. And that, my friends, leaves us with the anticipation of what will happen to our main cast next. What will they run into? Who knows? Basically, the world sets the adventure up for us, which is awesome world building and the whole point of world building, so yeah, pretty good world building for the most part. I would say that the story is somewhat like an evolving Pokemon. It has stages. First, it was to gather the jewel shards, then a love story, then a quest to defeat the most evil demon of them all, and then back to a love story, then back to the jewel, and so on and so forth. And although this sounds like a complicated mess, the story manages to connect it all together beautifully. If anything, Inuyasha at its core is about a group of people whose lives have been drastically affected by a powerful jewel that should have never existed in the first place. No, not that jewel. This one. And there we go. Although the story does have a main goal, I feel like the story is more about exploring the world than a certain goal. Let me explain. In each arc, there is something new. Inuyasha doesn't really tend to foreshadow any of its arcs. There are no mentions of legendary places like Mount Hakare or the Band of Seven in early episodes. Yet, both of these things are known by basically everyone in the world of Inuyasha. Why? Well, you could say this is because Rumiko Takahashi was writing it as she went, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that there is another reason. That reason is because the main focus of the story on a deeper level is to explore the world. This goes back to what I said in the world building section. You have this vast world and every demon has its own story to it. Why would you not explore it? We as an audience enter the world just like Kagome does, blind to everything that is going on. So the most interesting way to experience Inuyasha as a story is for each arc to introduce something new to the world that we have not seen before. Inuyasha is a show that doesn't focus on upping the scale of power or taking it to the next level each arc. No, it's a show that focuses on taking Japanese folklore and turning it into a world that's just plain fun to learn about. And this shows through each arc having a new interesting demon or a place for our cast to explore. Another big factor of the story is the romance. Inuyasha is one of those anime that doesn't shy away from romantic themes at all. In fact, without the romantic themes of the show wouldn't be nearly as good. You'll find yourself rooting for certain couples to become canon, and you'll find yourself rooting for others to get out of the way. Sorry, something must be in the air. There are episodes where the action takes a backseat to the romance, and if I'm being honest, I've never seen an anime balance both love and action so well. So basically the story is an isekai filled with the Japanese lore, love, and action. So no matter what genre of anime you prefer, Inuyasha's got you covered. Without too much spoilers, Inuyasha has a great cast of characters for you to fall in love with. You have the half-demon tsundere Inuyasha, the bold and strong Kagome, the perverted yet manly monk Miroku, the brave and diligent demon slayer Sango, the loyal Kilala, and the cute and funny Shippo. And if the main cast still doesn't do it for you, then you have the cool and strong Shishomaru, the ultimate comic relief that is Jaken, the adorable little girl that is Rin, the cunning and evil Naraku, Kagura, Kohaku, and that's all. Nope, there's no one else that's important that we should mention right now. Nope, no one else. Oh, Koga's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, so Koga. Basically, the characters of Inuyasha are just so endearing that you can't help but fall in love with them, ship them together, and just basically root for them all around. I mean, even Naraku, as evil as he is, and he is pretty evil, grows on you at some point. And you can't just ignore our golden couple of Inuyasha and Kagome, guys. If you're not rooting for Inuyasha and Kagome to get together throughout the series, then you have no soul. I'm sorry to tell you this. Inuyasha and Kagome forever. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the story more than makes up for the fights, but if you're looking for some One Punch Man level action, then this is not it. The fights in Inuyasha aren't really all that great on the surface because the show isn't about power scaling. In fact, it ignores power scaling altogether. No, the fights are more so based on how the story is going to go. This is not me saying that the fights are bad, this is just me saying that they really don't hold up to the modern day anime standards of fight scenes anymore. However, I still think as a hardcore action fan myself, that the fights are still very entertaining, especially when characters get new powers. It's pretty cool. Now, the goal of the channel is to give you an honest review of every anime we talk about, and even though I do love this show so much, I can't lie and say that the anime doesn't suffer from exposition dumping, because it does suffer from exposition dumping a lot. It is an early 2000s anime, so the animation isn't that great, and they do use a lot of repeated frames. But the good side is you will never be confused about what's going on, because Kagome or somebody else in the show will recap it for you every single episode. And let's just put this out there now. You will hear Inuyasha and Kagome call each other's names a lot.
Thank you, Kagome.
But you'll love it, trust me. You'll just get used to it. Also, the English dub is not that bad. I watched the entire series in English dub, and it was pretty good. In fact, it's one of the greatest dubs I've ever heard. So for all you English dub haters, don't hate on Inuyasha dubbed. It's pretty good. However, I will say this is an awesome journey to go on, and that you will be hooked after only a few episodes. So even with the exposition dumping, you'll still have a great time. Also, does anyone else see the change in art styles every episode? I mean, like, they're all great, but they definitely change, or am I just going crazy? Please comment that you see them. I have told everyone that watches this show that they change and they just don't believe me. Please comment that I'm not insane. And that's all for today. Unless you click on more videos here on the channel. Speaking of the channel, you should subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted of our next video. All of our social medias are down in the description below, so go check that out if you are feeling friendly. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time. As always, my friends, I'm g.elyse, and this has been On the Rise.